In video obtained by Kyiv Post, one man waves a removed shoe, a gesture symbolizing disrespect in Arab culture, while also showing a middle finger to an evacuating Russian convoy, another clear sign of disdain. Since the fall of the Assad regime in Damascus, the Russian military has been rapidly evacuating Syria. Russia had maintained two crucial military bases in Syria, the Khmeimim Air Base in Latakia province and the Tartus Naval Facility, which serves as the only site for Russian ship repairs and resupply in the Mediterranean Sea. According to the source of the video shows Russian equipment being evacuated from Khmeimim Air Base. Moscow began withdrawing its troops from Syria due to Assad's regime falling to Syrian rebels. Assad fled to Russia. The future of Russia's bases in Syria is uncertain. Rebels demand the complete withdrawal of foreign forces, while Moscow is attempting to retain at least part of its influence. Russian officials almost certainly consider the collapse of the Assad regime, its former Syrian ally, to be both detrimental to its regional strategic interests and to its image as a security guarantor, the UK Defense Intelligence reports. Russian leadership almost certainly considers the war in Ukraine to be their primary concern. Russia's prioritization of the war likely degraded Russia's ability and capacity to keep the Assad regime in power. Russia's primary aim in Syria is to maintain control of its military bases, its largest overseas naval base at Tartus and its air base in Khmeimim, to enable Russian strategic access to the Near East and Mediterranean Sea, supporting its aims in Africa and allowing for military power projection. The collapse of the Assad regime has almost certainly increased the risk to the security of these assets. In the short term, Russia will highly likely seek to repair its reputation as a reliable partner and engage diplomatically with all relevant actors involved in efforts to ensure security guarantees for its military bases. And while the situation in the Pokrovsk sector remains hard for Ukraine, the 33rd Assault Battalion's assault troops managed to conduct a successful operation and capture an occupant's dugout. The 33rd Assault Battalion said the operation had taken place on December 12th. The Russians placed the fortifications in a forested area, which was supposed to facilitate defense and camouflage. Artillery, drones, and infantry were used to storm these dugouts. The drones adjusted the artillery strikes and then corrected the actions of the stormtroopers themselves. During the storming of the dugouts, the Ukrainian military did not allow the occupiers to move out of them, and their hiding places were thrown with hand grenades. At the same time, the battalion's fighters are now also having to repel Russian assaults on their positions. About 20 invaders tried to break through to our positions. We fought back with everything we could. One of the mines hit very accurately, sending 6 orcs to hell at once, the battalion said on December 13th. Russian troops have been advancing toward Pokrovsk virtually non-stop for about 10 months, after having occupied Avdiivka in late February 2024. During this time, they managed to travel almost 50 kilometers deep into Ukrainian territory and approach the last major industrial center of the Donetsk region under the control of the Ukrainian Defense Forces. The Ukrainian command managed to slow down the enemy's rapid advance in late summer by redeploying reserves. Previously, the soldiers of the Special Operations Center Omega of the National Guard of Ukraine stormed enemy trenches in the Pokrovsk sector. In a remarkable demonstration of precision and tactical efficiency, the Revenge Brigade's drone operators delivered a decisive strike against Russian forces in Kupiansk direction. Their efforts resulted in the destruction of key military assets, including 2 tanks, the BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicle, an armored vehicle, artillery guns, 2 mortar positions, and 3 transport vehicles. This successful operation was reported by the Luhansk Regional State Administration, referencing the 3rd Border Detachment named after hero of Ukraine, Colonel Yevhen Pikus. Beyond the destruction of heavy equipment, the drone operators targeted critical infrastructure. They eliminated Russian UAV command posts, dismantled their communication system and generator, and destroyed 2 field ammunition depots, further crippling operational capabilities. The battle for Kupiansk in Ukraine's Kharkiv region highlights the intense resistance of Ukrainian forces against Russian advances. Despite facing a numerically superior enemy, Ukrainian defenders have leveraged drones and precision artillery to counter Russian advantages in armor and manpower effectively. Drones play a pivotal role in gathering real-time intelligence, spotting targets, and directing artillery strikes. Small, maneuverable UAVs help identify enemy positions, while larger drones engage targets directly or relay critical data. This integration allows Ukraine to maximize the impact of its artillery, which has become the cornerstone of its defense strategy. Precision artillery systems like HIMARS and advanced howitzers have enabled Ukraine to strike Russian supply lines, armored columns, and command centers with remarkable accuracy. These systems offset the Russian numerical superiority by neutralizing high-value targets and disrupting logistics. In Kupiansk, Ukrainian forces have also shown exceptional adaptability, using drones to exploit terrain and guide artillery in devastatingly accurate strikes. This synergy between reconnaissance and firepower demonstrates how technology and tactical innovation can level the playing field, even against a larger adversary. Ultimately, the battle for Kupiansk underscores Ukraine's ability to use advanced tactics and technology to defend its territory effectively, denying the enemy decisive victories and maintaining the strategic initiative. Ukrainian forces face significant challenges in the Kupiansk sector, including relentless Russian artillery barrages and armored assaults. The enemy's numerical superiority in troops and heavy equipment pressures Ukrainian defenses, forcing them to stretch resources thin. Supply line disruptions and the need to constantly adapt tactics to counter Russian advances further complicate the situation. Additionally, harsh weather and rugged terrain limit mobility and increase the strain on personnel and equipment. Despite these difficulties, Ukrainian forces continue to hold the line through resilience and innovative use of technology. Since the start of the full-scale invasion, over 2,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been hospitalized due to chemical poisoning, according to Ukrinform news agency. This was announced at a briefing by Artem Vlasiuk, head of the Environmental Safety and Civil Protection Department of the Radiation, Chemical, Biological Protection Directorate of the Armed Forces Support Command. At the same time, 3 soldiers died from Russian chemicals. In particular, irritant chemicals CS and CN were used, which are used in ammunition to combat riots. In 3 cases, we have medic reports indicating death due to acute poisoning from an unknown chemical substance, stated Artem Vlasiuk. He emphasized that the Ukrainian army does not use any chemicals. These agents are prohibited for use, Vlasiuk added. Ukraine joined the statement on behalf of 59 states in support of the strict implementation of the provisions of the Chemical Weapons Convention, in particular, the prohibition of the use of chemical agents to combat riots as a method of warfare. The invaders have been using K-51 chemical grenades against the Ukrainian military since the battles for Donetsk airport.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.